Alright, this is Middle Class Matt from don'tbuythehype.blogspot.com, and I am, as always, and still, Sports Genius. Last week had a rough week in the picks. I made it myself. I was 8-8, 500. Unacceptable. I always want to win 10 games. My goal was 75%. I picked more around, 70%, a little less than that for the year. So pretty good average. I picked against two guys, which they beat me last week. They were both 10-6. I was 8-8. But overall, I'm still up a few games on Cris Collinsworth, very good at picking games, and Phil Simms. So, still rings true, middle class Matt better than the experts. So let's go ahead and get to my picks. Already did my Oakland-Denver pick, got one in the bag. Usually when I get the Thursday game right, usually means I'm going to have a good week. So, or a good weekend, probably should say. But let's go ahead and start with the St. Louis-Buffalo game. Now, this was a tough game to pick. There's a lot of games in these where a lot of teams close to 500 are playing against each other. It's very difficult. So, I'm going to take Buffalo in this one. I think they're getting things together. I really saw this team as that had a good chance to make the playoffs because of all their nice pieces. They have some really great pieces, especially on the defensive line. And so I really thought this team was going to have a better year, and they still might. They still could win out and be a very good team. They don't have a bad record. They're close to 500 right now. And I'm going to take Buffalo 2017. St. Louis is a pretty good team as well. Fisher's done a good job there, but I feel like they're going to cold weather. December, Buffalo gets real cold, and this is a dome team. So I'm going to take Buffalo once again, 2017. Next one, very difficult game to pick, Dallas, Cincinnati. Now, I'm going to go with Cincinnati, but I think Dallas has a chance to win this game. Wouldn't be surprised if I'm wrong on this one, and it's going to come right down to the wire. I think they'll have a chance at the end of the game to win this game. It's going to be a close one, but it's at Cincinnati. Cincinnati's on a roll. Cincinnati's a good young team who are, starting to find their identity and getting themselves together. They're a little better than middle of the pack in almost every statistical category. So they're not a team that blows you away being top 5 defense or top 5 offense, but they're kind of pretty good at everything. So I'm going to take them 27-24 over the Cowboys in that game. Next is Cleveland, Kansas City. Kansas City's been a really bad team. Cleveland hasn't been much better, but Cleveland's at home. I like their nucleus, especially on offense, better. I love their left tackle, their running back, their quarterback, seems to be a good young quarterback. So I really think they have a better overall nucleus there together. So I'm going to take Cleveland in this game. Cleveland Browns 23-17 in a pretty close game, low-scoring game as well. Tennessee, Indianapolis. Now this one scares me. Because every time I pick Indianapolis, it seems like they lose. And every time I go against them, they win. But luck's got things going. And I'm going to take them winning a high-scoring game, 34-27 at home. Luck does always real well at home. Then I have Chicago at Minnesota. I'm going to take Chicago in this game. They didn't play well last week. But I'm going to still take them in this one. It's a rival game. And they need the win in their division. And so I think they're going to win this game 24-20. So I'm going to pick Chicago in that game. I think they have the better defense and the better offense than the Minnesota does, even though they're on the road. Next, I have Philadelphia, who's been a horrendous team this year. I thought they'd be better. I never thought they'd be the Super Bowl picks or go deep in the playoffs. I never thought that. But I saw them being around a 500 team. They're not going to do that, it seems. Tampa Bay's a better team, and I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, and I think it's going to be 38-31 at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay wins. Next is Baltimore at Washington. Now, Washington has the ability to upset people because RG3 can run. Now, RG3 is not a real good passer yet. A lot of people are saying how great he is, but last game he only completed 13 passes. But he beat you with his legs, and that does create problems. Does that equal deep playoff run? Probably not. But can he win a big game? Absolutely. So I'm going to take Baltimore, though, this in a close one. Pretty high scoring, 31-27 at Washington. Baltimore is going to, get things right after that Pittsburgh loss, go forward, and beat an inferior Redskin team. Next, Atlanta at Carolina. Tired of Carolina blowing close games. I think their coach is really on the hot seat. I think Atlanta's the elite team. They're going to come up. It's a division. It's a rivalry game. Division game and a rivalry game. And Atlanta will come up, take care of business, win 27-23 over the Panthers in a pretty close game. Jets at Jacksonville. I'm going to take the Jets, getting things right. You get the quarterback spot, starting to work things out a little bit. I mean, it's a mess, but, maybe it's better than it was. and try to make a run late in the season and win some games. I think the Jets are going to win 24-20 over Jacksonville. Pittsburgh should beat San Diego 27-20, maybe a little closer than people thought, but still Pittsburgh wins that game because they're at home, and I believe they might be getting Big Ben back. Not sure yet, but I believe he's coming back. But anyway, they were able to win without him last week, so I think they could win even if he's not there, but I believe he's back. Anyway, next game is Miami-San Fran. San Fran, has dropped some games, but St. Louis seems to have their number. Everybody else, it doesn't seem to be, they seem to pretty much be able to handle business. They are doing the West. No, Miami's having to go West, so that's fine. They're at home, and that's another advantage for San Fran. So I'm going to take San Fran, and it's 23-20 San Francisco. Pretty low-scoring game. Next game, Arizona at Seattle. Seattle's looked good last 3 or 4 games. They've looked impressive. Arizona has been struggling. They have not been the team they were at the beginning of the season. It's at Seattle. That's the 12th man. So we'll take Seattle 27-16. Russell Wilson gets him another victory for his young career. New Orleans goes to the Giants. A closer game than maybe people think, but I think the Giants, after that really close loss, they should have won last week against the Redskins. I picked them to win, and they let me down. But I think they rebound. High-scoring game, 34-30. Eli outduels Breeze because he's at home, and the Saints don't play well on the road. Next is Detroit at Green Bay. Both these teams have been sort of unpredictable, but Green Bay's been the better team, and they're at Green Bay, and it's getting close to playoff times where Green Bay plays their better football usually. Rodgers steps it up. I have them win 30-24. Then Houston at New England, and I have New England winning this game 31-24, maybe a little higher score than people thought it would be, but New England has a high-powered offense. I just don't think Houston can hang with them. They're not going to. But there's a possibility if New England, the way they've been playing, they get a roll, they could blow this team out, and that would be impressive. That would be an impressive win. But Houston's good, but they are having to travel to the East Coast, and so I'm going to pick New England to win this game. The better team, the better pedigree, the better experience, and the better quarterback. 31-24 New England. This is Middle Class Matt for all my picks. Check them out, and I'll be doing my video earlier next week. See you then.